Welcome to this short guide to Bourton on the Water, found in the Cotswolds in Gloucestershire, unless of course you're from America, in which case it's found in Gloucestershire. This really is the epitome of an English village, split down the centre by the River Windrush. If Disney were given the task to design an English village, this is exactly what they'd come up with. Known for its gorgeous low bridges and prolific use of Cotswold stone, which is a yellow oolitic limestone quarried locally. Oolitic coming from the word ooits, which means small spherical grains. Guess who's been looking at Google? Anyway, the village is gorgeous. There is a bit of a health warning. This is recorded at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was very quiet and peaceful and lovely. It doesn't stay like that. It gets very, very busy. We went in early June, and the crowds didn't ruin it for us. I can imagine, though, that it's a little bit more challenging in the summer months. The village has everything you'd expect. Tea rooms, coffee houses, bakeries, pubs, restaurants, gift shop, the works. This is the little nook. I stopped in here and bought some gifts. Really nice little place, that. And to keep the kids happy, there's a crepe and ice cream store as well. What more could you ask? This is actually part of a restaurant, an Italian restaurant called the Venezia, that we ate at 3 out of the 7 nights. It was that good. Family owned restaurant, really lovely service, always space in there. The menu was fantastic, and I thought reasonably well priced for the location we were in. As I say, we ate there 3 nights on the trot, so that is a pretty good recommendation. It isn't the only restaurant. There's the Croft just next door, and there's a pub a little bit further down from that. Lots of different stores, candy shops, the famous The Chip Shed. Right at the end of the green is a war memorial, which is next to the Motoring Museum. We didn't actually go in the Motoring Museum, I now realise, looking at this video. However, they do have a gorgeous little bit of the river that passes by here, which I got some lovely photos from. At the other end of the village is the Dragonfly Maze, and I can't recommend this highly enough. It's very reasonably priced, £4.50 for adults, £4 seniors, £3.50 for 4 to 14-year-olds and under 4s. Go free. The maze can get very busy, and on those days they do have a system where you can buy tickets for 1-hour time slots. There's no online booking or phone bookings. Wheelchairs and buggies, as you will see, will probably struggle as it's very narrow. It's very well maintained, and being the juveniles we are, our grubby little minds did find some of the clues that you had to look at rather titillating. You basically make your way to the centre. Once you put all the clues together, there's a little bit of a surprise, but I'm not going to ruin that for you. We then headed immediately next door to Birdland and Jurassic Journey. Again, really reasonably well priced. Children £11.50, adults £14.95. My wife almost got a really good deal. They assumed that she was my carer and were going to charge her £3. What does that say about me? The grounds are gorgeous. Again, I think we timed it right. We were there beginning of June, quite early in the morning, about 10 o'clock, and it was almost empty. It was so peaceful and lovely. They have a huge range of birds here, from flamingos and ostriches, owls, ducks, flamingos, you name it, they've got it. And these cheeky little parrots, well, they weren't holding back with the crowd in front of them. They were going for it. It actually got relatively uncomfortable at one point, and I thought it was bad for me, and then I saw this fellow. He's thinking, do I get involved? Do I look away? Do you know what? I think I'll get involved. No, I won't get involved. It was nesting season for the flamingos. It was very noisy and chaotic as the males fought for nesting space for their partners. There was a nearby member of staff who really took the time to explain to us what was going on, how they look after and care for the birds, how many eggs they're expecting this year. Really lovely sort of family-run feeling to the place. But this is what won it for my wife and myself. The penguin enclosure. It allows you to get within feet of the penguins, and they are cute. However, they do really stink. Then it was on over to the Jurassic Journey and a short walk through a wooded area, which those young kids who love their dinosaurs will really appreciate. Some of them could have done with a little love and attention, but I am sure any dino-loving kids will really enjoy it. But hey, who am I trying to kid? Let's just get back to the penguins. They were the best bit. And of course, what zoo or park wouldn't have a gift shop? And it was a particularly good gift shop as well. I highly recommend Birdland. Again, combine that with the maze and you've got a good morning's worth of entertainment. To get to Bourton on the Water, you want to head just south of Stow on the Wold on the A429. Follow it down, you'll go past the derelict pub on the left-hand side, which you may recognise from Clarkson's Farm Season 4. There's a couple of choices that you can take off left. I took a station road. There is, as you can see here, a Cotswolds school summer car park, but that wasn't open because the school was open at the time. Go past the co-op and follow the road round to the right. Don't go into the co-op car park. You want the Bourton Vale car park, which you can see there. At the other end of the village is the Rislington Road car park, which is right next to the Dragonfly Maze and Birdland. So there's plenty of parking within the village. And if you're really sneaky and lucky and get there early enough, up the northwest end of the high street is the Royal Legion car park, which is £3 for the whole day. But I have to say, pricing in the car parks was reasonable. And it doesn't matter which car park you go to. You're only a couple of minutes walk from the village high street. However, if you want to go just to Birdland and the maze, I would suggest using the Rislington Road one. However, if you're looking for somewhere a little bit quieter, away from the crowds, try Lower Slaughter, a 10-minute drive away, a gorgeous little village where you can let the dogs off the lead in the fields out the back. And there's a gorgeous mill as well. However, I found a new hobby of sitting on the green in Bourton on the Water with a beer and watching tourists taking pictures of themselves and blocking the bridges. Highly entertaining. We stayed a week in the Weaver's Cottage, which is just off the high street and perfectly placed for early morning and early evening walks through the village. All I will say is just remember this is a village where people live. So take your litter home with you or put it in a bin. Keep your dogs under control. They can be let off the lead to paddle in the water. However, if it's exceptionally busy or the wildlife's about, please just be considerate of others. I highly recommend the Venezia restaurant, which we ate at 3 nights on the trot, and also make sure you visit the maze and Birdland. If you liked any of my photos or want to follow me, I'm on Facebook and Instagram with landscapes and milkshakes. Have a good holiday.